Hello there, peeps. Black Panther, spelled with two N's, Entertainment welcomes you to my show. I am Red Raven, spelled with an I. I haven't been doing my podcast for a few weeks because the first week it was spring break, so while there were people probably going to Florida or whatever, woo, spring break, and all that, and throw me your beads! Anywho, the week after that, we had an ice storm and we lost power for a few days. And the very first night, I went to bed knowing full well we had no power. It sucked. And then the next morning, I woke up freezing under 3 blankets. Yeah. Anywho, I decided, we're going to have to use some stuff around the house if we're going to get through this. So, we have a fireplace. It's more to me like a wall decoration than anything. It's fun to dress it up at Christmas. But what was used as a wall decoration, that being the fireplace, ended up being used to keep us warm. So we did turn it on. It kept going out the first time until my husband cleaned out the pilot or whatever. I don't know about those things. Anywho, so this, I got it from Amazon, and no, they are not paying me to advertise for them. But so this is a free advertisement for them. So go Amazon, hey. But these, I bought them a couple years ago to use as a Christmas decoration. I have 6 of them. My youngest, she broke one. She pulled the top out. So I used 5 in our bedroom. And that was the first night I didn't even have to sit in the dark. And that is also the night I didn't have to use my phone as a flashlight just to get to the bathroom, or end up stubbing my toe or breaking my face by falling on my face on the floor. So that worked out for us. Now, today's segment I want to get into is about ADHD, and can the teacher diagnose a child with ADHD? And if you look it up, the answer is no, that is illegal. However, the teacher can recommend that you get your child tested for ADHD. There's no law against the teacher making a suggestion. So I have 3 examples because I have 3 daughters. And I'm not going to mention their names, but daughter number 1, I think she was in the 1st or 2nd grade. Her teacher suggested that I get her tested for ADHD. So, she was my first one. So parents are going to make a mistake and they learn. Anyway, so I get her tested for ADHD, and she's put on medication for, I forget the name of it. And besides, I probably shouldn't name it because I might get sued. But she was taking ADHD meds, and she started getting, first it was facial tics, like she would clench her eyes while gritting her teeth. Yeah, almost like she looked like a nutcracker. And then, I thought, in time it'll pass, whatever. But in time, it didn't pass, but it sure did escalate. And boy, did it escalate big time. So it didn't matter if she was standing or walking. It was just mind blowing. I never saw this before in my life, so I had to freeze in one place because I'm like, what is going on? So we'd be walking across the street, and then suddenly she would drop to the concrete road, not completely, just in a squatting position, and then she would spring back up, and I'm thinking, okay, so you're going to show us a breakdancing, she's going to go getting into breakdancing, I guess. I don't know. But what I did was, because this ain't cool. This just, yikes. So we took her to the doctor. And I told her doctor, I told her what was happening. And then she gave her an antidepressant prescription to combat the side effects of the ADHD. All right. So we went with it. So we waited for a whole month for the side effects to cease. And when they didn't, we went back to the doctor. And I said, it's not working one bit, nothing. So she decided to give her another antidepressant prescription to go with her other antidepressant prescription to combat the side effects from her ADHD medication. And that's when I drew the line, because, I said, you know what, I think that we are going about this the wrong way. I think it might be a good idea for us to stop her medication. So under the doctor's supervision, we gradually brought her down from her medication until she was completely off. And then her body tics, that's what I call them, they finally stopped. So no more trying out for breakdancing on, what is that show? America's Got Talent. Sorry, Simon Cowell. But anywho, that was years ago. She still has the facial tics, and with the deep, long sniffing at the same time. You would thought she had Tourette's syndrome, and I'm not making fun of anyone with Tourette's syndrome, because I know it's got to be just, very harmful in some cases. Okay, daughter number 2. She had this teacher that just would not leave her hair alone. I swear, she kept combing her hair and styling it. The reason I am bringing that up, because this plays a big part in what I'm telling you. But what happened was, I would style her hair one way. She'd go to school, she'd come back, and her hair was completely taken down and styled another way. And I told her teacher over and over, please do not mess with my daughter's hair, because when a teacher is touching your kids' hair like that, that is crossing the line of professionalism. If she wants to play with hair, take a beauty class and be a hairstylist. I don't know. But, I thought it was one of my cats. Better not be. Haha. Anyway, so her teacher told me, you need to get your daughter checked out she recommended you get your daughter tested for ADHD. And we're like, yeah, I could do that. But I'm not going to blindly make a mistake and have her put on medication like I did my oldest one. But I didn't say that, so you know. But what I did was I had her tested. And then her doctor said she tested negative. So I said, can you please put that in a letter for her teacher so it could give her peace of mind? So what happened was my daughter brought the letter back to her teacher that said that she tested negative for ADHD. So what did her teacher do? She called CPS on me and said that for child neglect, saying that I sent my daughter to school with unkempt hair, and knowing for a fact it was she who turned me in because her hair was not unkempt and her teacher just wouldn't leave it alone. So what did I do? Well, I was on her teacher like ugly on an ape. I called the superintendent, and it didn't end well for her. And I am still feeling that self-satisfaction like George Clooney on South Park. And daughter number 3, she's 11 now. She's at a friend's house playing because they're going on their 3rd week of no school. Don't ask me why. But she has autism and she has epilepsy. She has petit mal seizures. And that's the type of seizures, it's where it looks like you're daydreaming, but it's more intense. And she did test positive for that, so she's on anti-seizure medication. She's doing great on it. But this teacher she had, and oh my God. So what happened was, her teacher, we were also given not only anti-seizure medication, but also rescue meds where you squeeze it up their nose if they're having, if she has too many petit mal seizures within 5-minute span. But I made sure it was kept in the office, not in the classroom, because her teacher, I wonder if I can say whack job on YouTube. Anywho, her teacher refused to take the course on seizures. She needed to be educated. And me, I've been learning for so long. Hold on. My phone's slipping. Hold on. Doing good. Okay, so I've learned plenty about seizures because of that, and I've been learning more and more about them. But her teacher refuses. And I told her teacher, I said, well, my daughter's neurologist wants you to take a class on epilepsy before the rescue meds are released from the office into your care. And she goes, well, I understand you need to learn, you need to take a class on seizures. As if I don't know jack about it. And if your name is Jack, sorry that I used your name. But I was referring to her, not myself. Duh. Anywho, so what happened was, she kept bugging me about releasing daughter number 3's rescue meds. And then to top that off, and I'm going to keep mentioning her rescue meds because that plays a big part in this story. Huge. But she said at a parent-teacher conference, your daughter has ADHD. Yeah, she diagnosed her as to having ADHD, not I think you need to get your daughter tested for ADHD, or might I recommend you getting your daughter tested for ADHD? No, she flat out said, your daughter has ADHD, she needs to be put on medication. I thought that was illegal to diagnose a child when you're not a medical professional. Anyway, so I told her, and this is true, that the type of anti-seizure meds that my daughter is on will intermix with ADHD meds and cause a negative reaction. So then her teacher says, well, how about you lower the dosage of her anti-seizure meds? And I was hot. So I reported that to her neurologist. And here, I think I have the note. Where is it? Okay, so what I did was I called her neurologist. I wrote what her neurologist said. And her neurologist sent a letter to my email to give it to her teacher. And here's what it said. I am a medical professional. You are not. This type of anti-seizure medication cannot be mixed with ADHD medication. My patient will not have her medication decreased in dosage, and you do not have permission to keep my patient's rescue meds in your classroom. Yeah, she was mad. Don't get on her bad side. But after making sure her teacher got that letter, she doubled down on me. I mean, it turned into a harassment, constantly saying, your daughter has ADHD. You need to reduce the dosage of her anti-seizure medication. You need to release her rescue meds into the classroom. It was getting just insane. So what I did is I was going to invest in body cams. I found one that was a ladybug. And it was a body cam. I could pin it on her shirt. I was in the process of ordering it from Amazon. Yes, Amazon. You got free advertisement. Go Amazon. Rock and roll. Anywho, her teacher, when I was in the process of ordering it, her teacher suddenly, not vanished like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but she was gone. She was gone. The school said, well, the teacher found a new job, and, well, the next city over, I'm going to say. And so this is where it was bizarre. Very bizarre. So what I did is, because my daughter number 3 was going to this one woman's house for her daughter's birthday, because she was invited and I was there too, only to find out that we know the mom who went to school with daughter number 1. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. We even know the Cookie Monster, which is my daughter. Ha ha ha. Anywho, so I told her, I said, did you hear that this teacher quit her job and moved to the next city over just to get a better paying job? And I said, how bizarre is that she suddenly quit? And she blurts out, no, she didn't. She got fired. And I said, really? She goes, oh yeah, I got her fired. Found out that her teacher was mistreating the nonverbal and verbal students. She was a special ed teacher, and she was not being a good teacher. So she's gone. I was happy. I would have thrown a big party, but we were at a birthday party, so there's a party. So that is a story on that. So I am going to, here, let me take a sip of my coffee. I forgot about it. Plus, there's no coffee in it. I used it as a prop. But, I forgot to tell you. We have a Democratic governor, okay? She was supposed to be in our city yesterday. So this governor was supposed to be in our city yesterday. And this said governor does not like Trump and endorsed Kamala Harris. So I said to daughter number one, I said, it was at Walmart, I said, you have got to tell me when she gets there, because I'm going to wear my Trump shirt, I'm going to wear a MAGA hat, and I want my picture taken with her. Come on. It was in a text message, so that's why I'm yelling, because it was in caps. I was like, come on, don't take it from me. I need this. I mean, we went a few days without power, so I need this. But nobody told me. I missed opportunity. A blown opportunity that nobody gave me. Come on, play it out, world's smallest violin for me. Sympathy, people, sympathy. But I will let y'all go, and I'll see you on the flip side.